for item 1.
Just ask members of the panel to confirm Councillor Hood-Williams as a convener for the panel for this municipal year.
Do we agree, Liz?
Pardon?
Come on.
Oh.
Sorry, can I just ask members of the panel to agree Councillor Hood-Williams as convener of the panel for the next municipal year, please?
Yeah, we do.
Agree.
I better agree to just make it serious, isn't it? Thank you very much. Okay. Obviously everybody here knows everyone, each other very well, so but it's still my pleasure to welcome you to this meeting, both members and officers and cabinet members as well. Thank you very much for coming along. I know you come along very regularly and it is appreciated. So if I can move on to item 2, apologies. Any apologies?
We've received apologies from Councillor Mike Day and Councillor Kevin Griffiths.
And Chair, can I give my apologies? It's Councillor Jardine. I'll need to leave a bit early. Okay, thanks.
Okay, thanks, Yvonne. We didn't see you coming in, so that's fine. Item 3 is any disclosures. If anybody has any disclosures or any personal or prejudicial interests that they want to make, now is your opportunity so to do. I'm not seeing any hands up, that's for sure, and nobody's showing in that respect, so I assume not. Item 4 is a normal standard prohibition or whip votes. Item 5 is the minutes of the previous meeting, which basically we've all had a chance to have a good look at, together with the letter that went off the March meeting and cabinet members' response. I don't particularly want to go through them page by page, but if anybody's got any points they'd like to raise, now is your opportunity so to do. Can't see anything, so that's fine. So can I have your approval, please? Just show your hands up if you're happy with them. There we go, thank you. Public question time is item 6. That makes a change. We haven't got any questions from the public. So item 7, very quickly, we're down to Child and Family Complaints Annual Report. Sarah, Sarah's in somewhere. Yes, I was going to say you wanted to kick off. Yeah, okay.
So obviously this is the whole corporate page report here. So obviously we're only dealing with the child and family services section. Just to highlight that is in the report for 21-22. So clearly the impact of the pandemic is still being seen in the period in terms of staff, recruitment, fitness, and the increasing complexity of some of the cases that our teams are dealing with. That being said, you can see from the report that Child and Family Services have the number of stage 1 complaints has decreased by 19%, with 15 justified complaints. There also been documents over the period, which is easily important to see and to recognise. All the detail there is in Appendix 3, but obviously just to highlight that complaints are taken very seriously, and they not really are the practice going forward. So I don't know if Sarah, you want to or do you want to pick on that? But,
Excuse us, Chair, we couldn't hear that then. It was very intermittent.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
Is that better? Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
It was weird. It was green a minute ago and now it's red, my mic. So I don't know if it was working or not. Okay, I will say it. I will say it all again. So as I said, that this is the whole council corporate complaints report, but we're only dealing with Child and Family Services. I was just noting that it was the report for the period 21-22, so we've got the sort of impact of the pandemic still being felt here, with issues to do with staff pressures and recruitment, sickness, and increasing complexity of cases being dealt with by our teams. However, that being said, in Child and Family Services, the number of stage 1 complaints had decreased by 19%, with 15 justified complaints. and that there have also been 100 compliments, which are really important to look at as well. All the detail is in Appendix 3, and as I said, it's important to say that complaints are taken very seriously and are used as learning opportunities to inform good practice going forward. And then I said, did Julie or Sarah want to elaborate on that?
You want to come in, Sarah?
No, thank you, Chair. No, nothing to add. I think that's covered everything. Thank you.
Okay.
The only thing I would add is that we, when we introduced our learning and innovation team, we took the opportunity to feed into that team the learning from complaints and also data around complaints, so we can include it as part of the broader conversation around performance, but from a qualitative aspect as well. So then that then feeds out more readily into the various teams across the whole service, so we can pick up directly there the learning, which has been really helpful.
And now throw it open to members and ask you if you've got any questions. Anybody want to raise anything as far as this report is concerned? I'm not seeing any hands going up. Obviously, as you've already said, the number of complaints is reduced this year from 21-22, so that's obviously positive. And also not very many going on to stage 2 as well. So those are points that I picked up. And as you say, page 34, which shows the compliments, and those are always nice to see, and I'm sure staff are always pleased to see that. I think it's one of the best of these reports that I've seen for social services, and I think Sarah would confirm that, hopefully. So congratulations really to the team, and keep up the good work and improve even further. Okay, thank you very much. Anybody else got any points? Thank you, Sarah. I know you've sat in on about 4 or 5 of these meetings now. I think we've sat in together on them. So I can understand why you don't need to say anything. I know it off by heart by now myself, I think. But anyway, thank you for coming along. And if you'd like to leave us now, you're very welcome. Thank you. That moves us on to item 6 on the agenda, which is, sorry, item 8. Turn over, I got something right. I get it right. Delivery of corporate priorities. And you're going to come in first, Louise, and then...
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity to present this report, which I think is a really good opportunity to have an overview of the really key work that's going on across child and family services, contributing to our policy commitments around better care. So first of all, the report outlines the strategy around our prevention and early help work, including a new lead worker dedicated to supporting families and staff around neurodiversity, which is an increasingly a sort of complex area, which is more demand for that coming forward. A specialist role for work with out of court disposal, help for families to resolve parental conflict and its impact on children and young people, support for the parental advocacy network with Neath Port Talbot, more dedicated resource for carers assessment, and the family networking project, which promotes collaborative and supportive approach to safety in families. In addition to this, the panel is hopefully aware of the excellent work of our CMET team, the Contextual Missing, Exploited and Trafficked, which has received widespread praise for its innovative work identifying at-risk young people in peer groups and in the wider community. Moving up the sort of continuum of need and support, obviously there's a huge amount of work going on with our care experience population and those who are on the edge of care. The Born Into Care project has recently received excellent feedback from Care Inspectorate Wales, for example, amongst others, starting work with parents much earlier into pregnancy to enable more work together to take place, and hopefully more success regarding keeping families together once the baby is born. We're looking at the important role that special guardianship orders play and how those can be developed. And as you may know, it's Foster Fortnight at the moment, and a lot of work is going on to recruit more foster carers and provide support for our foster families. In terms of supported accommodation, we've been able to work with Neath Port Talbot and local providers to offer up to 10 placements for unaccompanied asylum seeking children, and we are looking at pathways for young people aged 16 plus. As you know, we've faced considerable challenges around our workforce, but our Social Work Academy is providing newly qualified social workers with support and nurture as they start their career, and has been highlighted as excellent practice by Social Care Wales and the Association of Directors of Social Services. Finally, we're working hard to meet the challenge of finding suitable placements, and we brought a report on this to the panel in the last year, and we're soon to complete registration on the 2-bed children's home, and plans for a second home are to be submitted shortly. So all in all, the pressures of obviously cost of living and staffing and complexities of the people we work with notwithstanding, there has been really significant progress being made, and just really want to place on record my thanks to Dave Howes, to Julie Davis, and all of the officers for their hard work and dedication supporting children, young people and their families across Swansea.
What I would like to add is that despite all of the pressures and challenges that the council and our child and family services faced over the last year, we have a really creative and dynamic and innovative workforce. And we have really excellent support for the corporate management team and from Cabinet, and it's been really pleasing and at times amazing to see the success that we've been able to deliver and the changes and improvements we've been able to make over the last year. So I just echo Louise's thanks really directly to the workforce and to our children and young people and families that have wanted to work very closely with us to achieve the best outcomes for them. Thank you, Chair.
Sorry, I'm putting it out to members. This is your opportunity to ask any questions you want. Is there anything in the report that you would like to raise? Obviously comprehensive and complete, because there's no questions coming forward. The only one I'm going to mention, because it's a bit of a hobby horse of mine, if I can find it somewhere, is early intervention. A point I've made time and time again over the years. The first people basically to see the situation in families of the health workers. And I think it's important that we keep driving that message home with them, that if you see any problems, please raise with them as soon as possible. Because that's about the earliest intervention, and obviously then the schools have got a role to play. Point I want to make, other than that, it looks very comprehensive, and certainly in terms of what's going on, and it appears that reasonably happy with the way the department is going. We will be looking at the performance reports very carefully, I'm sure, when they come through. And the other thing I would say to the cabinet member, of course, is that we will be waiting for a report from the what do you call it? Pardon? Oh, dear me. My brain has gone for a minute. The other body you have, which looks at child and family services from another point of view. What am I saying?
Corporate Parenting Board.
Parenting, sorry. Yeah. Yes. We were looking forward for that report. If I can remember the name of it, I might see it when it comes. So my apologies on that score.
I think on the point you make about health, I think we've got very good relationships with health. A lot of that work goes on in the early help hubs, and it's mainly in Hayley Williams' portfolio rather than mine. But I think it's not mentioned on here, but the stuff with the Jigsaw team and all that kind of stuff is hand in hand with health. So I think you're completely right. It's about catching families at what support we can provide to them at the earliest opportunity, yeah. Really.
Anybody else got any points they want to raise? In that case, I will move on very quickly again to the panel reviews, which is item 9. And just to go through these, and if you've got any comments that you want to make about them, if there was anything you were particularly not happy about, and we're talking to members now as much as anything else, then please let us know. Because obviously I think in October, first meeting basically after the new council came into being was by and large introductory in the role of a panel and an overview of child and family services, just for members to know what was expected. Although I don't think we've had any new members on yet, but I will look at Louise and say, if you've got any members of your party who would like to get involved in this, we are short of numbers, so it might be just as well if you can push it through Mike Lewis, I think. In November, we looked at residential care. You've already mentioned that. I'm sure we're going to be coming back to that again this year. There's no doubt on that score. I don't know if many members have got anything they want to say in that respect. Nope. December saw the first performance monitoring, and we started to see the new reports coming forward now that you've got Wicks working, hopefully, and those are continuing to improve. So we were pleased to see that, and we were pleased to see the development of that as well. And we looked at regional safeguarding. I think a few points were made then in terms of regional safeguarding as opposed to what we used to have in Swansea. And David will know exactly what I'm talking about. So there were concerns in that respect, but at least we knew what was going on there. The January meeting this year we mentored around CAMS and child disability. So we had Mary Jones come along because she's the expert in that sense from a counsellor point of view, because of the work that she's done with that in the past, and she was able to see what was going on and the improvements that was being made. The February meeting was split into two parts, basically with adult social services in the first case to look at the budget for the year. I think we were relatively pleased that the budget has increased. We're always pleased when that happens. We're never pleased that we've had enough, but that's another story, I guess. That's for you to fight. And there was a question at the end of that I put in there, and I'd be interested to see how your how your commission reviews do actually proceed. And we need to see the timetable for that, and I think we might have to have a report on that very soon, I would think, sensibly. Which almost takes me on to item 10 before item 9 before it's all part of the year, I suppose, so it's fine. The March meeting saw us looking at support for carers, which is obviously very important, and that was done in conjunction also with adult social services at the time, because obviously that is affects adults as well, just as much as child and family services. And we also looked at the youth offender service, and I'm sure that's something that we're going to continue to have to look at as well. I don't know if Wendy or Yvonne, Erica, want to make any comments? Have you got anything you want to add to what I said there? Any questions?
No, it's
I
fine.
have no comments.
No.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. In that case, because we are at the start of a new year, we haven't actually drafted our work programme for the year yet. We will work on that. Liz will work on it, and she'll talk to me about it, and I say, yeah, that was very good, which I always do, generally speaking. And then once we got that far, Liz, and it normally it'll come out to you to have a look at as well, just to see if there's anything that you want to add to it. And then as soon as we got that, we'll circulate it to all the members, and you can have a look at it then and see if you want to add anything in, and we'll take it from there. But hopefully we'll have a draft programme fairly soon, and in that sense, hopefully it'll be fairly comprehensive in terms of the things that we need to be looking at. So, any further questions? Can't see any. In that case, have we got anything to say? We've done it after 20 minutes, but never mind. Thank you very much for your attendance. Thank you, members, for coming as well. We just about made it in terms of being quorate, so we could go ahead. So I'm grateful for that. But obviously, we need some more members. If you can push it that way, we will push it as well in our areas as well. So if you could, just to bring a bit more life into it. And you'll have to stop doing very well, so we got something to criticise from time to time. But don't forget, we will need to see the corporate parenting review, and certainly one thing we'll be looking for is the how successful looked after children are at year 10, I think. Yeah, I will keep driving that point home, I think, for some time. Okay, in that case, I will say thank you very much to everybody, and date of the next meeting, I'm not quite sure. Oh, sorry, it's on the 20th of June. I didn't look up there, I was looking at the end where it normally is, so my apologies. So next meeting, 20th of June, hope to see you then. Thank you very much.
Bye.